I craft everything. Hi everyone, I'm Tasha from I Craft Everything, and today we are learning to craft simple bookmarks. As you can see, I've already uploaded some images to Cricut's design space, and right now I'm working with 2 out of 6 that I have already uploaded. So I'm choosing to put these 2 on a bookmark or on a couple of bookmarks. Right now, one of them uploaded bigger than I'd like it to be, so I'm just temporarily sizing it to make sure that I can see it easily on my screen. I'm going to go ahead and unhide the other 4 images that I have selected and add them to Design Space. These are from a previous project, but I like you guys to see how I made them. They turned out super cute. So I'm going to go ahead and move them around so you can see everything a little bit better and get a feel for what we have. I'm going to go ahead and click the lock button in the top middle of Cricut Design Space and size these to an approximate size that I'd like them to be on. I'm going to compare them to these particular images that have previously been done because I'd like to make sure that they are a decent length and a decent width. You can size them according to your personal preference, but I'd like them to be about the size of a previous project that I made. So I'm just going to sit these on top and size them accordingly. Now I'm going to go over to the left side of the screen and click the Shapes button. I'm going to choose to make these particular bookmarks in rectangles. So I'll go ahead and click the square. Go up to the top and click the lock and prepare to size these according to whatever size you'd like them to be. The average bookmark will be approximately 2 by 6 inches in size. You can make them bigger or smaller depending on what you want to add to your store or whatever size you prefer to have them. Once you've chosen the length and width of the square part of your bookmark, take your image and bring it to the front by going to the top bar and clicking Arrange. Bring your image to the front and start to size it so that it fits perfectly inside of your rectangle. Move it up or down, left or right, depending on where you'd like to put it. This part is all based off of personal preference. I like to duplicate my square to make sure that the sizes are exact, especially if I'm planning on selling a set of them. I want them to all be symmetrical. Take the second image and bring it to the front of your square just like you did the first one. Go ahead and size the image and put it directly inside of the perfect rectangle. Stretch it and make it the exact size you'd like it to be. Make sure you leave room for the top if you're planning on adding text. In this case, I'm going to add just a bit of text at the top. You can choose or not to add text. You can also add hearts, stars, flowers, anything you'd like to jazz it up. But be sure to leave enough space if you decide to put a hole, just in case you'd like to add a tassel or some type of embellishment to your bookmark. Just remember, whatever you decide to put at the top, there has to be enough space to punch a hole should you decide to. So please don't forget, that's really important. Go ahead and click the text button on the left-hand side, select what you want to write, and fit it inside of the box. You can add anything you'd like. As you can see, my text is the exact same color of the box. This is about to change now by clicking the box and turning it white, blue, red, whatever color you'd like to make it. Any color will do. You also have the option to click the Advanced button at the bottom and select the color that you don't see on the color grid. Go ahead and select the text and go back up to the top and make any changes you'd like to the color of the text as well. Just be sure whatever color you select for your text looks great inside of the box and is easy to read once you print it out. Keep in mind that just because you see a color on the screen doesn't mean it'll exactly look that way when you print it out, since the color profiles can always be different on your printer. If you have other bookmarks that you're making, go ahead and select the colors for the text and box as well. You can make these any color you'd like them to be. You can add a background. You can pretty much do anything you'd like. Just make sure you love it before you send it out. After you've arranged where you'd like your text, be sure to go ahead and resize the image. You can make it bigger, taller, or wider. Just make sure it fits perfectly, and please don't forget to leave room if you decide to put a hole for a tassel or other embellishments on your bookmark. You can move this as much or as little as you want until you get it where you want it to go exactly. Don't forget to change the colors and text style of your second bookmark, especially if it's in a set. You may want to have some diversity. For this particular tutorial, I'm just going to go ahead and leave it the same font with two different writings. It was so hard to decide what color I wanted this bookmark to be. So I just clicked on a bunch of different colors until I figured out something that I really like. I think I'm going to settle with the green because she has that pink bow and she looks gorgeous bouncing off of that green color in the background. Now I'm going to go ahead and get ready to highlight this whole bookmark and make sure everything is together and group it. This will keep you from moving individual pieces of the bookmark and only allow you to move it as one whole piece. I'm still making some slight adjustments, just putting everything where I'd like it to go here on my bookmark. I'm going to highlight the second one and group it together. Now that I have it exactly where I want it, I'm going to head to the bottom right corner and flatten the image. This will tell the machine that I would like it all to print and post on one project instead of dividing it into individual colors like you would if you were making, let's say, a t-shirt. The others have already been flattened since I had already had those in the project before we got started here. So I'm just moving everything to kind of make sure that it's exactly where I want it before I send it out for the final project. Now I'm going to go up to the top right hand corner and click Make It. The machine is going to think that you're separating it into different projects, but we're really not. We're not even going to use the Cricut machine for this project. This is a print and cut. This is what it will look like once you flatten it. So you go ahead and hit continue. And now you get ready to send your project to the printer. Be sure to choose the printer of your choice, and bleed is optional. If you choose to add bleed, it just adds an additional ring around your project that just kind of gives it a little bit extra. I'm choosing not to, and I'm just going to send it straight to the printer. While your project is printing, go ahead and turn on your lamination machine. Make sure if you have the type of lamination machine that I have, it says ready on the right hand side and that you have selected the thickness of your lamination paper. You can tell the thickness of this paper by taking a look at the packaging it came out of. Now you're going to go ahead and start the cut process. You can either choose to use scissors or a cutting board if you choose to. I'm using a cutting board for right now, but I'm going to manually cut them with scissors in just a moment. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and chop these with scissors. Be sure to cut, if you're doing ones like this with just the head, go ahead and be sure to cut it out the first time correctly and make sure you cut all of the details. This way when you laminate it, it'll be perfect, and I'll show you what I mean shortly.
I can't even see me.
Once you're done cutting, go ahead and take your lamination sheet and open it up. You'll see a seam that looks like it's a closed section straight down the middle. Be sure to start putting your bookmarks in that section directly against the seam. This will make sure that it closes properly. Fit all of the bookmarks in exactly where you'd like them, making sure you leave enough space in between to cut them once you get ready to cut them out. Once you have your bookmarks positioned exactly where you want them, go ahead and close the top flap on the lamination sheet. Be careful to keep your images inside of the lamination paper steady because once you put them through the machine, they do have the potential to fall out if you don't hold it properly. As you can see, I'm going to go ahead and make an adjustment because as I'm trying to pick them up, they're moving around inside. But don't worry, we're about to slide them through the grooves on the machine. There should be a groove on the left and right of the machine, and that's where you'll feed the lamination paper. Your lamination sheet should start to go inside slowly. Be sure to hold the end that is open and insert the end that is closed where you put the first set of bookmarks. This will go ahead and seal up your image as it's coming through to prevent bubbles from happening. I like to grab the back of the lamination sheet as it comes out, but please note that it will be warm to the touch, maybe even hot depending on what you prefer in terms of temperature. This will keep your lamination sheet from folding or bending as it comes out because it is warm to the touch. After your sheet comes out the back, it should be one big clear sheet on top of your bookmarks. I like to run mine through a couple of times just to make sure everything is nice and secure inside. This part is optional. Once you've run it through the machine the second time, it will come out as a clear film on top of your bookmarks. As you can see, it is super cute. Go ahead and grab your scissors because we're about to make the final cut and be finished making bookmarks. All right, you guys, take each individual bookmark and cut it out. You'll see a little bubble around the edge of the finished product. Go ahead and cut around the bubble. I like to leave a little bit of space right there where you can see that it was exactly ran through the machine. The choice is yours. You can cut it close to the end of the product, but be sure not to cut directly on top because if you do, you may cut the lamination and then you'll have to start this project over. And no one likes doing double work. Continue this process until you've reached the very end of creating the bookmarks, and then I'll share the very last step with you and we will be all done.
Slap boy. I can't even see me.
For the rectangle ones, be sure to cut directly around the project. You want to make sure that you don't leave any of that white cardstock there so that it looks like a whole colored project. Unless you chose to use white, then you're in the safe zone. But if you chose to make that colored, just make sure you cut it as straight as possible Sometimes if you like to use a cutting board, you can do that, but in this case, I'm going to manually use my scissors. Just make sure that you get all the whiteness around the edges. This will make sure that it is crisp and clean when you get ready to put it in your store and sell it to your customers. Make sure you cut that as close as possible, and also make sure you cut it as straight as possible, because with square bookmarks, you can definitely tell when the cut is off.
Slap boy. I can't even see me.
Okay, y'all, for the final step, I like to run my bookmarks through the lamination machine one more time after I cut it. Just in case I cut it too close, it'll go ahead and seal that thing back up. So go ahead and put each individual bookmark inside of the lamination machine. Be sure to catch it at the back just to make sure it doesn't hit the thing, hit the table, and bend. Okay, y'all, so this part is optional. If you've run it through one time and you're good with that, then that's cool. But you do have the option to run it through a few more times if you like. Personally, I'm going to go ahead and run them back through that thing one more time, two more times maybe, just to make sure that the lamination is closed properly. Sometimes you tend to nick it a little bit close, and you just want to make sure the lamination seals it properly. You want to make sure your customers get a quality product every single time you send it to them. Don't forget to grab them from the back as they come out, and remember they're warm to the touch. And voila, we have created a gorgeous set of bookmarks. All you got to do now is put them in your store, advertise them to your Facebook friends, advertise them to your family or readers. You never know who might need them. We did it. Aren't they gorgeous? We have created a beautiful set of bookmarks in under 30 minutes. This was quick, simple, cheap, and easy. Anybody can do these, and all it takes is a printer, a lamination sheet, and some lamination paper. Now is the time to go ahead and add your tassels. If you're choosing to put any holes in your bookmarks, just make sure that you put them in a place that doesn't obstruct from the beauty of the bookmark. If you are putting them in the square ones, or excuse me, the rectangle ones, make sure whatever space you allotted to leave for the tassel that you go ahead and cut that hole with your hole puncher. I am so proud of these, y'all. They look so cute. I can't wait to add them to my store, advertise them to my friends and family, and I hope everyone buys them. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. If you have enjoyed this tutorial, be sure to give it a thumbs up. I would love to see your comments in the comment box. Thank you guys for watching. I really enjoy creating these with you, and I will see you next time. Bye.